Good afternoon everybody, welcome back to Marrick's Koi Pond. Got some sunshine, not sure for how long. I thought today I'd just show you what my feeding regime is, how I feed my koi and how often. Don't know if you can see over there my Profi feeder. I put a little container underneath it just to weigh the food out, because I've heard it said you know, you should feed by the weight of the fish, by the body mass of the fish, which that's easier said than done, that is. You know, what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to catch all your fish, weigh them individually, and then catch them every fortnight and weigh them again, see how much weight they put on and adjust the food accordingly. Don't make sense to me. But anyway, I've put that container under there to catch the food when it goes off. It's about, I don't know, 4:45 in the evening at the moment, or late afternoon. I've got this set up at the moment. Feeds 8 times a day. Feeds 7 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 7 o'clock in the evening, 9 o'clock in the evening. So every 2 hours gives me 8 feeds. And in there at the moment, what we got in there at the moment, we've got, because I'm not quite up to temperature to feed him growth food, I've got sort of 3-to-1 Saki balance and Saki colour. So I mix it 3 buckets of sinking Saki balance to 1 bucket of floating Saki colour, because you can feed the colour above 18 degrees. But when the temperatures get to 24, when I get this pond up to 24, I shall revise that, and I shall put 3 buckets of floating growth to 1 bucket of sinking balance to 1 bucket of floating colour. And then towards the end of the season, I might just up that floating colour just at the end of the season. Not sure if you'll be able to read this very well, but this is the control box for the feeder. So bear with me while I steady this camera. At the moment this feeder goes off for 3 minutes 40 seconds divided by 8. So it's 8 feeds a day divided into that 340. That's the clock, 16:44. It's due to go off at 5 o'clock. Sorry if I'm shaking with this camera. Start 7 o'clock in the morning. End 9 o'clock in the evening. Feeds, 8 feeds a day. And then that feed button is programmable, so you can put in there like a percentage, so every week it will increase the rate of food going into the pond. But I never really use that, to be honest with you. I tend to just set the timer manually. But it'd be interesting to see how many pellets that catches. Then I should take that in the filter house, tip it into a mug, weigh it, just to give me an idea of how much food is going in there. I mean, I am guilty. I sit here of an evening or during the course of the day, and I'm very guilty of throwing in handfuls of food as well. I've got a tub that sits underneath this swing seat, and I can't help myself. I find myself putting my hand in there throwing in handfuls of food together with calci worms as well. And when this feeder goes off, I've got an air curtain against that back wall of that pond where that skimmer is, and whenever the food drops into the pond out of that feeder, that air curtain, it's time to switch itself on for like 10 minutes at a time. So basically I've got this profit feeder up, so I'm dropping in the pellets into the pond, and that air curtain, apart from the first thing in the morning and last thing at night where it's time for 15 minutes, all the other times in between it's time for 10 minutes. So they've got 10 minutes to eat all that food off before the air curtain turns itself back off again. And that's how I gauge how much food is going into this pond and whether they're getting enough. That food is all gone. By the end of 10 minutes, that food is all gone. So I know that they're getting enough. And also, I'm saving any wastage going down that skimmer. I'll tell you what I have noticed, since I've been feeding this Saki colour, like I say, it's too early to put the growth in there, but I've been feeding the Saki colour, albeit sparingly, because she's only on about 19 at the moment, this pond. But typical, because it's floating colour, I find all my single coloured fish are eating the floating colour, and all my ghost Sankey are going down the bottom and eating the sinking balance. And out of the way. At the moment there's 18 fish in here at the, well, yeah, 18 fish. There's 2 tamasabas in there which I haven't included in that count up of the fish. But there's 18 fish in there at the moment. So just be interesting to see what this weighs. I mean, obviously once I'm up to 24 and feeding the growth, I shall increase the feeding rate that's going into this pond. But look at these fish, look. They've got an inbuilt clock, they know that it's coming up to 5 o'clock. They know that that feed is going to go off. But they're going to be a bit disappointed, well, for 5 minutes anyway, because it's all going to go into that container, so I can weigh it. That should go off any minute now. I'll tell you what, it's surprising how long a minute is, sitting here waiting for that to go off seems like an eternity. I'll come back to you in a minute. I'm just going to check the clock on this control box on this Profi. See what time it is. Still waiting for this to go off. Should be any minute now. But I think my feeding regime works. Fairly sure it does. I mean, if you're interested, go back through my videos and look at the measuring up we've done in October 23. There's a video on there where he measured all these fish individually, and I got some good growth on some of these fish. So I haven't messed about with this feeding regime this year, other than we're a bit late in the season. We're halfway through June now, aren't we? What's the date today? 12th of June, and the temperatures, the ambient temperatures during the day are chronic, and they're even worse at night. I'm pretty sure, that I had this up to 24 degrees on the air source this time last year and was feeding them growth. It seems like we're ever so late this year. Any minute now that will go off, I promise. There she blows. Don't know if you can hear the pellets going in there. Yeah, all the pellets. That's one feed just been dumped into that container, and like I say, this goes off 8 times a day. And then if we're patient, that after about a minute, that air curtain will fire up. Right, I'll just take this out of here and we should go and have a measure up. Again, I've got to take my hand off this camera, so it could be a bit shaky. There we are, look. I'll tell you what, that doesn't look like hardly anything in there. But when that drops into the pond, you know, gosh, seems like there's tons going into the pond. But it don't seem like a lot there, does it? Don't look like much at all, but like I say, when that drops into the pond, looks like there's loads there. Right, let's go and weigh it, just see what we got. Alexa, turn on shed light.
Okay.
Right, let's tip that into the mug. Oh no, don't want to do that yet. Oh, I forgot. Let's go and have a look at this air curtain. Forgot to show you this air curtain working. See, look, that's more skimmer there, look. And there's the air curtain. So that stops the pellets going down that skimmer. And like I say, that will run for 10 minutes, switch itself off. But all them pellets will be gone by then. Right, let's weigh this up. Right, that is on 0. filled that up. $44 grams times 8. Cool, I'm going to have to work this out. 44 times 8. Bear with me, I'll be back. Right, I've just worked this out. Maths is not my forte, so I might be wrong. But I've times 44 times 8 equals 352 grams. So there's 352 grams going in there a day at the moment, plus what I'm feeding by hand. I'm not feeding many calci worms at the moment because I don't feel the temperatures there yet, but once that growth food's in there I shall be at least doubling that. That'll be like 600-700 grams going in there, plus what I'm throwing in by hand. What's 1,000 grams? Kilo? So I reckon when that's up to temperature, that pond, I reckon there'll be a kilo of food going in there every day. I said that didn't look much, you know, when it doesn't, but when that goes into the pond, it's really surprising. But that's what I'm feeding at the moment. That's what she's programmed. That's what the Profi feeder's programmed for at the moment. Like I say, once that's up to 24 degrees, that growth starts going in there. I shall double that. That'll be on 700-800 grams a day going out of that feeder, plus what I'm throwing by hand. It's going to be a kilo a day going in there in another fortnight. Now fishes, have some food. Have some food. And like I say, there's the air curtain stopping all those pellets going down the skimmer. But this will all be gone before that skimmer packs up. Well, thanks for watching the video. Hope you found it interesting. If you did, please hit that like thumb, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.